The stock market is telling you what to buy every single day. You're just not seeing it clearly. So take out a pen and paper. I'm going to tell you exactly how I pick stocks to pay my bills in 15 minutes per day, and hopefully how you can do the same so that you can get back to your life, taking care of your family, hanging out with your friends, whatever it is that you do. Company insiders like CEOs can purchase their own stock, which obviously is a little unfair considering they run their business and know everything inside and out. Fortunately, when they purchase their own stock, they're legally obligated to fill out a Form 4 filing and submit that with the Securities Exchange Commission, which basically publicizes the purchase and tells everyone that they bought their own stock. The stock market's telling you what to buy because when company insiders buy in their own stock, people like me, other traders and investors out there, will buy the stock. It will push the price up not necessarily for a month or even a week, but for one day. Maybe even hours, maybe even 15 minutes, but that's all you need. You can buy at market open when company insiders buy their own stock and then hold for a few minutes, 15 minutes, sometimes the entire trading day. It kind of depends on the strength of the trade. Some parameters that I use to determine the strength of the trade and how much profit potential there is what's called ATR, which stands for average true or average trading range. This tells you on average, how does a stock move in a given day? Does it move 2% up or down, or does it move 20% up or down on average? A stock like Apple is relatively chill. It only has an ATR of like 2.5%, but there was a stock BIG this morning, big, that had an ATR of 12%. It was a big ATR. And when insiders bought in, the stock went up 14%. At least last I checked, the market's still open. But if an insider bought into a stock with a 2% ATR, it would just simply not go up as much. So something you can do to determine if an insider purchase is more likely to push the price up significantly is look at the ATR. You also want to look at trading volume, which is how many shares trade in a given day. And you want to convert this to dollar trading volume. So you take the number of shares traded on a given day, you multiply it by the share price, and then you get dollar trading volume. I only trade stocks that have anywhere from 10 to 150 million in daily trading volume because stocks with more than that tend to correlate with the overall market, adding a lot of uncontrolled variables. If we trade stocks that have 20 million in volume or 50 million in volume, let's say, those stocks can kind of move on their own. They're isolated from the overall market. So we're isolating the variables and controlling just for that insider purchase. Then on the flip side, I don't trade stocks that have less than 10 million in volume generally because those have less liquidity, which is the ability to buy and sell easily. You want to be able to buy in with, let's say, $100,000 and then get out really quickly with a quick profit. If there's only $1 million trading for the entire day, it might be hard to do that with 100,000. The other day, I paid about half my rent in 5 minutes with one stock trade. Here's exactly what I did so that you can do it too. My goal at first was to build a stock trading strategy that would allow me to pay my bills in like 15 minutes a day so that I can go to the beach, hang out with friends, go to the coffee shop, and just have a really chill lifestyle. In order to only spend 15 minutes per day trading, I had to learn how to code so that I could automate the strategy so I don't have to be staring at my computer all day. This is kind of what happens. So the bot basically tracks the market for me, and then it will confirm trades, and then I can manually take them. If you're a beginner, this chart probably looks confusing, which is totally okay. I just want to show you, I have about 100,000 in this account, but I'm trading with 330,000 roughly. These two trades took me about 5 minutes each, or maybe 10 minutes, paid about half my rent. And then the next day I made like another $500 here. You could also use what's called leverage to make more, like assuming you don't have $400,000 to trade with. But because I do have the capital, I'm keeping it simple and I'm not trading options. Besides trading the overall market, I also like to track when company insiders buy their own stock, because if they're buying their own stock, that's kind of significant considering they run their business and know everything inside and out. And of course, you know that I automated that one too. So for example, there's these alerts that the bot will send when the market opens, and then it will purchase it automatically and then take profits as the stock goes up. I also offer one-on-one coaching if you want to learn my strategy and hopefully pay your bills in 15 minutes per day. Here's how I built a bot to help me pay my bills with stocks. Traditionally, trading stocks takes a lot of time and energy, but I wanted to find a way that I could make a decent return without spending a ton of time and energy. And quick disclaimer, this is not like a get-rich-quick scheme. This literally took me 8 years to figure out. I first got introduced to the stock market when I was 13 years old, and now I'm 21. But now that I figured this out, I've been living in Hawaii for the past 18 months, and I make a decent amount of money with spending almost no time. Basically, right in the morning, the bot sends this initial notification telling us what it's gonna do. And then as the stock price hits these certain levels that we care about, the trading strategy activates. This way I can focus on my life, I can chill at home, I can spend time with friends or family, I can go to the beach, and then if the bot notifies me, I can just quickly open my phone or laptop and take the trade, which typically only takes 5 or 10 minutes. In this example, I shorted the stock right here, which is when you bet that it's gonna go down, and then I covered right here, which almost paid my rent in one trade. Here's how to pay your bills every month with stocks in 15 minutes per day using a bot. And quick disclaimer, I don't think I know everything. I'm only 21 years old, but I did get introduced to the stock market when I was 13 years old, so this has been like 8 years in the making. The bot and strategy work by tracking company insiders like CEOs and CFOs when they buy their own stock. The reason I do that is because I find it unusual for insiders to buy into their own stock, considering they run their business and know everything inside and out. And you can see all of these insider purchases for free on a website called openinsider.com. And I don't own that, by the way, but I use it to track the purchases. Before automating everything in 2023, I first had to learn how to trade manually, which I really went all in on in 2020. And then while doing that, I created procedures of what I was actually doing to generate profitable results, which could then be coded into an automated system in 2023. My personal strategy is to wait for multiple insider purchases on the same day. So that's like when the CEO and the CFO buys in on the same day. That's more significant than if just the CEO buys in. And after I've selected a trade, I simply buy at market open and sell at market close unless the stock hits my predetermined take profit or stop loss levels. Here's how to predict when rich people are committing insider trading and use it to make money completely legally. Our country is pretty corrupt, and this type of activity happens every single day. Rich people keep getting richer while everyone else struggles with inflation, trying to pay their bills. It's just really unfair. The reason this is legal is because we don't know 100% that there is insider trading occurring. We don't have the insider information ourselves. However, when people with insider information place their bets, they often use very risky, what's called call options, which basically means that they must be correct about their bet within a very short amount of time or they lose tons of money. But of course, if they are correct, they might make tens of millions of dollars in a few days. So in order to predict when this is happening, we use something called order flow. Every trade in the stock market is completely public, so what I do is I scrape this order flow in real time to pick out the weird, unusual orders that could be insider trading. In 2021, for example, there was a company called Fibrogen, which was looking to have a drug approved. They had an FDA hearing coming up, which was going to decide the fate of the company. A few days before the FDA hearing, there was an extreme amount of put options that my bot detected, which means rich people were betting that the stock was going to drop an insane amount very quickly. I thought this was unusual, and sure enough, the stock dropped over 60% after the drug was failed to be approved, and those put options went up thousands of percent. The person who invested $1 million into those put options made like 10 or 20 million. Copying these traders is completely legal because we don't know for sure that there's insider information. We're just making a calculated bet. And if you'd like to receive these predictions, go to the top of my page and book a call. I don't send these in the free email trade alert list, but it's in my one-on-one coaching program. So people seem to enjoy my last video where I just gave away all my secrets on how to trade stocks to pay your bills in 15 minutes per day for free. So I'm just going to do that again here. And if you're on the free email trade alert list, then you know that the bot called out like a 10% profit, and I only spent about 15 minutes per day actually researching and executing this trade. My process is semi-automated, so how it works is I track when company insiders buy their own stock on a website called openinsider.com. The reason I do this is because typically insiders like CEOs know everything about their business, so if they buy their own stock, it's pretty unusual. I have a double filtration process to pick which stocks with insider purchases I believe will cause the stock to go up, and you can learn that exact process in depth through the pinned videos on my channel. Anyway, after I've selected a stock, I tell my bot to trade it, and from there the system's fully automated. Personally, I buy at market open, and then I have several take profit and stop losses, so if the stock hits there, it sells automatically. Otherwise, I'll sell at market close. And my simple formula to determine the position size that I want to use is simply max dollars that I want to risk divided by max percentage that I want to risk, aka my stop loss, and that gives you a dollar amount as a position size. Then if you lose the trade, then you're only losing the max amount that you want to risk. Here's how my trading bot automatically signaled $7,000 to $28,000 worth of profits throughout May. And for some quick background on me, I'm 21 years old now, but I first got introduced to the stock market when I was 13 years old, so it's been about 8 years since I got started. The bot works by first tracking when company insiders like CEOs purchase their own stock on a website called openinsider.com. The reason it does this is because we think it's unusual for company insiders like CEOs to purchase their own stock, considering they know everything about their business. And the cool thing is that when CEOs or other high-level executives buy their own stock, they're legally obligated to fill out a Form 4 filing and then submit that with the Securities Exchange Commission. Their purchase becomes public and everyone at the same time sees that purchase, gets very excited about that stock. This causes the stock to rise throughout the next trading day. And the bot strategy is very simple. It's just buy at market open, sell at market close, as long as the insider purchase meets our double filtration parameters. Feel free to look up these stocks that were traded: PI, MKL, ADT, IBDX, LDOS, CPE, SLQT, DRVN, and JKHY. The sum of profits buying it open and selling at close was 28%. So if you trade with 25K, that's about a $7,000 profit. And if you trade with $100,000, that's $28,000 in profit. And if you want to see when I buy or sell in real time or work with me one-on-one, then go to the top of my page and book a call.